Welcome to Sports Talk. I'm Bob, and today we're going to talk about the NBA All-Star Game. Okay, everybody, welcome to Sports Talk. Once again, I'm Bob,
and I'm Amit.
And as we talked about, we're going to talk about we're going to talk today about the NBA All-Star Game. But before we do, last week we failed to talk about GOAT and WOAT. We ran out of time, so we were talking about these things in relation to this year's super exciting Super Bowl. So, Amit, Tom Brady and the Patriots, are they GOAT, greatest of all time?
You know, it's very hard to tell, but before the Super Bowl, but after one man wins 6 Super Bowls
with the same team.
You gotta give it to him.
Okay. So maybe the votes are in. Tom Brady, GOAT. Now, was this year's Super Bowl the WOAT, worst of all time in terms of Super Bowls?
Look, I can't say it was because I didn't watch the Super Bowls like in the...
But could they have been any worse? 13-3? Now, some will say, well, it's a low-scoring game, but it was a game of defense. But it didn't really strike me as stellar defense. It was just, I don't know, the offense wasn't great, the defense was okay, it just wasn't a lot of scoring.
It was a good punting game.
Oh, if you like...
The punters played really well.
They kicked really well.
Yeah, they gave the MVP to Julian Edelman, but I would have gave it to the Patriots punter.
You would have given it to the punter? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, maybe next year's Super Bowl.
Okay, maybe not to the punter, but still.
That'd be cool. Has a punter ever gotten any kind of award?
Actually, he was one of the best players in the game.
Well, there you go. All right. Well, switching gears now over to the National Basketball Association. They recently had their 2019 NBA All-Star Game.
Yep.
And Team LeBron beat Team Giannis. Not 78-64, but 178-164. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, it's just a fun game to watch. I mean, who doesn't like high-scoring games? Who doesn't like them? They're just fun.
Yeah, but how about a game with non-existent defense? I mean, yeah, or do you think they just
still I think the most exciting part about basketball, it's all the dunks and three-pointers and how close a game can be.
Yeah. But they say that defense wins games.
It's true, but since I'm not a big fan of one team in basketball, I just enjoy watching it. I like just watching players play well and having a fun game.
Okay. Let's talk about the slam dunk contest. The winner, I can't actually pronounce his name.
Camilo Diallo.
Yeah, I mean, he dunked over Shaquille O'Neal. Shaquille O'Neal wasn't playing against him in the game. I mean, Shaquille O'Neal was standing there, and he jumped over Shaq and dunked. He won the contest. It'd be interesting to see. I'm sure there's probably a YouTube video out there of the slam dunk winner of every year, their dunks.
Oh, they're probably.
I know that one year back in the 90s. Oh, what's it? I was thinking of Vince Carter, but it wasn't Vince Carter. It was somebody who played for the Minnesota Timberwolves, but he dunked with the ball between the legs and then a dunk, which I guess now is pretty common. But back in the day, my day, it was like, what? He jumped up and put the ball between his legs, and then so I guess that's more along the lines of pleasing the crowd. It's what they come to see. It's fun. Yeah, I don't know. So I know that Vince Carter, like, who's the biggest dunker these days? I know that back in the night, like back in the early '90s, there was a guy named Sean Kemp, and he was known for some nasty throwdowns. I mean, not so much. I mean, they were just violent dunks. Like, don't try to block that; it'll break your hand against the rim. Let's
Yeah, he just jumped from really far away, really fast. Just
and then like a fast dunk with his arm, and so
yeah,
and then
the ones that you try to put your arm and block it, and he just
yeah, you
rolls
don't. I
his
mean, I've seen players where
arm.
they go to block and then they take their hand away because they're like, it's not going to happen. Of course, then later he kept on playing and then he got kind of thick. He got older, so he didn't have his legs like he used to. And then there was a guy who played for the Toronto Raptors, Vince Carter, who in a game dunked over, I think it was when he was playing for the Olympics. He played in Canada, in Toronto, but I think he was an American. But I think he actually dunked over this tall player for like China or somewhere, like for a team in Asia. Like he jumped over the guy, like he did with Shaq, like that guy did with Shaq in the All Star game. Yeah, but there's been some pretty good dunks throughout the years. But okay, so slam dunk, and then we have the 3-point shootout between Joe Harris and Steph Curry. Your thoughts?
Steph Curry, and I don't remember which round it was. He did like 10 straight shots.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, even though Joe Harris was the one who won,
Yeah.
I think it was.
Well, it comes down, the dunk contest, they get rated by the judges, but the 3-point comes down, well, to points.
Exactly, but, sometimes it happens that you play well, and you make it a lot of times, but not consecutively.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that fun to watch as watching Steph Curry make 10 shots and without missing? It was just really cool watching him.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm just curious. We'll have to. Spring is around the corner, and I guess we're halfway through the season. And when the playoffs take off, it'll be fun too. For me, like the first couple months of the NBA, are the games even worth watching? They play 80 games a season. It's only I'll say this: it's only either the playoffs where you really get people, they high caliber, and also like it really matters, or towards the very end of the season when teams are trying to qualify, either to make the playoffs or to affect their seed, like 7th or 8th.
One of the reasons that I love basketball so much, it's because how the players play in the last games of the season to qualify, or like how in the games super tight, how they play in the final seconds.
Yeah.
But that doesn't happen in the first game of the season.
It doesn't
because they don't care if they lose the first 3 games. You can still
like November. Is
the season.
Is it even worth watching in November? I don't know. So
I mean, if you're a big fan of the NBA, I guess you watch them, but it's not worth it if you ask me.
No. Okay, yeah. With the NFL, there aren't as many games.
Exactly, one game can change it all.
And each game is so important that from the get go, from the very beginning of the season,
16 games per team.
Yeah. So okay.
Every game.
Now baseball, how many games are in the season?
Like I think if you joined all the teams' games, it's like 5,000. Like all.
Well, how many games would one team
team
play?
It's like 150 games.
My goodness.
But 150. Obviously, it's a lot, but I just said the 5,000 one. Just imagine all the baseball you can watch in one season. Imagine 5,000 games.
That's a lot. That's a little more than I'm willing to watch.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. Any other thoughts on the NBA All-Star game?
I guess it's all high scoring game, the game itself, and it was fun to watch the dunk contest and the 3-pointers.
But now the game's over. All-Star game is over, and we're back to the season. Hopefully, in a couple weeks, things will start to get good. It will start shaping up of who's going to be making the playoffs and who's leading in their conferences. Let's see. Are the Lakers even going to make the playoffs? I haven't really. They're not going to make the playoffs?
Well, I mean, you can't say by now, but if you ask me, they won't make it.
Poor LeBron. Maybe he shouldn't have left Miami.
No, I was thinking about that before we started recording this episode of the podcast, because imagine, like, the Miami Heat were the team with LeBron. Would you actually say that with the Cavaliers when you have the Warriors? Like, no. The Warriors are the team right now, not the Cavaliers.
Do you think today's Warriors, or last year's Warriors, could have beaten the Heat from like 7 years ago? That would have been fun.
That would have been fun to watch. But I think it would be a very close game.
Mm-hmm.
And, imagine...
Well, LeBron would have been younger. LeBron would have had...
Yeah, exactly. Both of them would have... If both of them would have, like, played in the NBA Finals, probably they would go to the last game.
Well, that's what people love, the seventh game decider. Instead of, like, winning 4-0 and you're like, really?
They would have won, not won, but they would have gone to the 7th game if they played in the NBA Finals together.
All right.
Miami Heat with LeBron and the Steph Curry and Kevin Durant Warriors.
Very good. So, everybody, join us next time as we talk about, well, we're going to keep it a secret. We're not going to tell you what we're going to talk about, but it will be sports related. Take care, everybody. Ciao.
See ya.